Well, hello, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto under 20. 20 total carbs is what I'm talking about. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful summer day. It's what happens, and I am totally enjoying it. Um, I've been staying out of the heat and humidity, though, so I stay inside. And I've been doing my continuing education, and I've chosen Dr. Robert Lustig as my binge partner, and I am thoroughly enjoying him. Just put into the top search button Robert Lustig, and up will come a ton of videos, lots of which I've been watching. And he takes this whole food thing further. In his food plans, he does allow fruits. He says to have the berries over the others, but he is definitely all about the sugar, and he has such statistics and findings. And he says that there are 58 different types of sugar, and he flips over and shows labels or ingredients on the labels, just to show what's going on, and how they hide the total sugars by putting in all the different names. Now, I had heard that there's 68 names for sugar. Does it really matter? No, heck no. It just, all that matters is that we are being duped if we're buying foods that have labels on them, because whole foods don't necessarily have those labels. Although when I do buy my tubs of lettuces, there are nutritional labels on them. But some of the things that he talks about become so important after you become fully immersed in what works as your keto program. Hopefully it's a keto program. If not, and you're still watching, that's okay too. Whatever program you're in, as long as you're following it. One of the things that I see are people that try to shortcut, cut corners type of food planning, eating, surrounding themselves with. What can I get away with? That's not how I operate my keto food plan, and a lot of you here don't do that either. It's not what we can get away with, it's what we can have, and what is the most nutritionally dense items we can eat. What does that mean? Well, for example, lettuces. I'm not buying iceberg. I do buy romaine, although it's not as nutritionally dense as the baby arugula, the baby spinach, the spring mix, and I think red leaf even has more than the romaine. So that sort of thing. It's where can I do even better? Not buying lean meats anymore, buying, ribeye, getting your ground beef with the highest count of fat in it. The best I've seen is 30% fat, but then I'm not sure about where the beef comes from and what they do with it, right? So, there's always that dilemma. So for the grass-fed, it's usually 1585, and although that's okay, when Mike from KetoMad was interviewing Anna in her how she was doing with her week of ground beef only, Weibo, I think. She said she buys lean cuts of meat because the fat that she adds to it, she knows what fats she's adding to it. And so I thought that was a very interesting thing to do. So I like that too. And when I do saute up my grass-fed beef for my Taco Tuesday salad, I know that I do it in butter. And so then I keep all the juices and the butter and add the seasoning to it, and that I put over my taco salad. So those fats I know are the good ones. So anyway, with Dr. Lustig, I do hope you get a chance to watch him, because he's so brilliant, and the people that he gathers information from, as well as his own research, is just amazing. And he does have a group, and it's called Common Sense. And that's exactly what type of, he's like Dr. Common Sense to me. He makes it seem so obvious. It's like, how could we have missed that? But he talks about the sugars mostly and how they age us and what they do to us. But then he also brings in the food companies, shame on them. And then he also brings in the statistics and the data about the sugar that we Americans, it's mostly Americans that he studies, consume, and how it's, I don't know, those 5 pound bags, there's something like, you know, a whole bunch of them that we have. And he was talking about it's like 30% of the sugar that is consumed in beverages. And he says, stop drinking beverages with sugar in them. He says, what's wrong with water? And then he, kind of attacks the yogurt industry a little bit for all that. Not only do they put the fruit in the yogurt, but then they start putting either sugar or the fake sugars or the artificial sweeteners. And it's just like, it becomes incredible. And so what could have started off as a decent food, becomes the sugar bomb. So it's very, very interesting. But at the end of his talk, he talks about the 4 C's. And I really so appreciate that, because when you get further into your way of eating, your lifestyle, and hopefully it is keto, like I said before, that, there's more time, there's less anxiety about your foods, because whether you track or not, you know what you're having. You've gotten into the routine of it. You're not tempted by other things and planning a cheat day, a cheat meal, whatever. You're not keto-fying your items anymore. You're just staying with whole foods. And if the food that you're buying has a label on it, it will say something like, if you're buying your Kerrygold butter, it says cream. And sometimes it says cream and salt. And, I was looking to purchase some more ghee, and it was ghee and pink Himalayan salt. Thank you. Submit order. Thank you, Amazon. And Amazon is having this big deal. If you've got an Amazon credit card, there's a 3-day window. Maybe this will tape air after it, but you get 10% off at Whole Foods using it. So just wanted to give you that idea. And he talks a lot in one of his videos, maybe more than one, about pleasure and happiness and what the difference is. And pleasure is just definitely short term. And it's like what you do on the outside to make yourself feel pleasure just for the moment. And happiness. And happiness is a long-term thing. Now, I say, you've heard me use the word here, my favorite place to be is that of contentment. And to me, that is one of under the umbrella of happiness comes contentment. And I think it's a hard-earned place. It's when you get your macros in order. So when you put in your food, you're not going crazy with things. You're not like, oops, oh, well, that happened, I won't do it again. No, you're not doing that anymore. You're really getting into your groove and doing what you need to do. You're listening to people that you believe in, and you're kind of following what they do a little bit and customizing what you have to eat in a day that keeps you grounded and sane and just connected with your food in a healthy way. And you're not like, you're not turning every day into a food drama, right? So happiness is a long-term goal. For me, it's contentment. But he talks about the four C's, and number 1 is connecting face-to-face. And as a lot of us know here, we don't really have the keto connection with people sitting face-to-face with us. And so we do the best we can. That's why our keto community is so strong, because most of us are lonely in our everyday world and seeking to find that connection. And so, I rely on doing a video, answering my comments, listening to other people, commenting on their page, every now and then doing an interview with somebody. It's very, very important, that connection. And, sadly, it's not right here, right next to me, but we do what we can. And if we ever do meet up with a keto person, wow, 6 hours later, you might run out of things to say. Another thing is, number 2, is contribute. And he's big on that. You know, my give back is here doing a video every day, or Monday through Friday, and just staying on top of my food plan, my weight, my macros, food finds, and even silly little things like what Greg eats in a day and my double yolker event. We're having an omelet today, but it's a new carton, so let's see what happens with that. But contributing, giving back, you know, are you working with other people in what your passions are? Be it here with keto, be it like for me in a 12-step program. For other people, it could be mentoring them in a skill that they have, be it art, be it just something that they have a skill with that can help somebody else and lift them up and give them, you know, that chance to get a little bit better so they can move on in their world too, and just have that contribution. You know, we get what we get, and to me, my gift is being right here and then giving back, as well as in the 12-step programs. The third is learning how to cope. The third C, cope. And how do we do that? Well, we do that. We stabilize ourselves, right? What does that mean? To me, it means parenting yourself. It means the mindfulness of whatever your body needs, is used to, kind of in a routine sort of thing. Be it, you know, sleeping. Do you have good sleeping conditions? Do you go to bed at the same time every night? Get up the same time every day? Are you getting enough sleep? Or do you fight it? Is there something that's giving you worries or stress or anxiety that's keeping you up? You know, do some research into that. If there's something that's going to help you sleep better, by all means, take it. And then the mindfulness. Yes, the mindfulness with your food. You want to have that, you know, kind of get that down too. And if you use a tracker or a kitchen scale to weigh and measure like I do, using it, you know, not cutting corners and eyeballing things and saying, yeah, that looks about right. You know, that's 5 ounces of steak and it's really 10, things like that. Or with dressings, you know, are you making your own, or flipping over the label when you're shopping and not buying dressings with soybean oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, the oils that will inflame your gut and maybe stall you if you are in a losing phase. You don't want to do that. So embrace the healthy oils. You know me, I just use extra virgin olive oil and macadamia nut oil, and I am as content as a purring kitty. That's how that works. The fourth thing, of course, I love this. This is my Zen, cooking. He says, get used to cooking for yourself and your family. Don't rely on frozen foods, processed foods, takeout foods, those sort of things. Become somebody that cooks in the home with the healthy, whole food ingredients, so you know what you're getting. It will change your palate because you're getting away from chemicals and additives and just all that awful stuff that restaurants use, frozen foods use, processed foods use. You know, like go into your local grocery store on a Friday and see all the processed, pre-prepared foods you can buy to take home, and then flip over that label. And I swear, if it doesn't have these many ingredients in it, right? And so when you do have a label to read, sorry, I keep dropping my tablet. You know, when you read those labels, just say, really, how long would it take me to, you know, throw some chicken thighs in the oven, toss a salad, and steam some green beans or broccoli, or saute some spinach? Your palate will change. It will. If you're used to all those sauces and salts, table salt, disgusting chemical table salt, and all of those other things, the sugar and the 58 other sugars that are in it, you know, the sweetening of America, sugar in everything, barbecue sauce, ketchup, taco seasoning, it is everywhere. And the modified food starch, do you know what that means? Modified food starch is MSG. So don't think it just comes when you have your takeout from a Chinese food restaurant. It's hidden with a different name. That's how the food manufacturers go here because they know you're looking for like buzzwords on ingredient lists. Oh no, I can't buy that. It's got MSG. Oh, modified food starch? That's okay. So be careful. It's in things like taco seasoning. All those things that you buy to shortcut making your tacos or your, any type of ethnic cooking. Just buy one organic spice a week. The McCormick Organics. Get one. Build your spice cabinet with some nice organic spices. So then when you go in to make a recipe, it's there. And you've got it in your cupboard and it's organic. So at least, you feel safe. They put fillers in a lot of things like onion powder, garlic powder. Neither one of those are attractive to me anyway, so I feel okay. But, read the back. There's carbs in some spices, so be very, very careful. But learn how to do it. I just made a cauliflower chicken thigh stew yesterday, and I used the butter chicken spices in the Eat Rich, Live Long recipe, and I put that in the stew along with butter and organic chicken broth with the chicken thighs and the cauliflower. And I, slow cooked it in the oven and into a stew. And that's going to be an offering in a couple of days with my great big bowl of lettuces. So, cook. So it is, where did I go? It is connect face-to-face, which we do the best we can. Contribute, which is to help another person with something that you've got a grip on. Cope, meaning self-care, to me, parenting, self-parenting, and learning how to cook at home. And you can keep it very, very simple. And guess what? Very, very simple is how I roll. I don't get fancy Nancy. I got fancy Nancy with that cauliflower chicken thigh stew with the spices. But usually I am just straight out, like what are my favorite add-tos? Butter, coconut oil, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, and the fresh ground pepper. I am a basic Betty. That's how I roll. And thank you so much for watching. If you're having trouble and you want to clean up your act and just get a healthier way of eating, you'll feel better, you'll sleep better, you'll have more energy and all the blah, 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 you can catch me at ketocoachingsarah.com and ketocoachingsarah.com, and I offer different packages to kind of help you. It's not for a lifetime necessarily, although you can take your little toolkit as your party favor, but it just helps you just get back what you might have had before, given up, and just forgotten the value of. And for some of us, we find value in some of the simplest little tools and cooking at home. It's my zen. So anyway, stay tuned. You never know what's coming up next. Could be a smackdown. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto under 20. Today, it's under 10 in my chronometer, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.